or some kind of injury. I presume it's a head as the referee stopped the game for it. Trying to see what part. No, I think actually it's his wrist or arm or something on there. The only thing I can think of is that he's landed awkwardly on it, and he requires a little bit of treatment. Hopefully it'll be nothing too serious. It'll just be an impact thing which he'll get over in a couple of minutes or so. Andy Gooding in front of us getting himself a drink of water as the game is about to continue. Whoa! Henry Eze livid with that, but now North Greenford have to kick the ball all the way back to Jamie McAlinden, but the ball was already on its way out for a throw-in. That's what I thought the referee had done. Allowed it to go out for a throw-in, stopped the game, allow the player to get treatment. But in fact he stopped it a couple of metres before it went out for a throw-in, and well, that's lunacy really from the referee. Oh, Mitch Austin, the under-21 manager who has made it. Well, that was. He tried to bring it down and ended up on his backside. Now, good skill from Doobie. Still going, brought down. Referee says nothing wrong with it, doesn't give it an advantage. Andy Hall is brought down, and that is a free kick. Oh, and the referee's not allowed it to be taken quickly. And I have no idea why that's not been allowed to be taken quickly. The referee doesn't want to speak to the player. He's not going to book the player. And the referee. Well, that. That's a few strange decisions at the beginning of this first half. Nice clip ball in, and goal! Andy Hall puts it in. Awful goalkeeping mistake, absolutely awful. And what seemed a routine stop from the goalkeeper. He's let it slip straight through his hands, and well, Kettering a level, not in the tidiest of terms, but either way, Andy Hall puts the ball into the box, missed by the goalkeeper, straight in, and Scott making it in front of us. It's screaming for his players to come on, let's get another, and quick, as North Greenford put the ball down the line, and Henry Eze does very well to win the header. As the wind really is picking up now, and Hall does very well to leave it for a throw-in. Oh, good touch from Doobie as well, just caught out by the number 2. Tell you what, that's mine if that comes any closer. Which it isn't, it's gone out for a throw-in for North Greenford. Brett Solkin has done fantastically there just in front of us. That may just be a tall order for Andy Hall, but it's gone out for a Kettering throw-in, and Andy Hall certainly putting some pressure on the back foot. It seems like the Kettering Town fans are using this newly opened fourth side to its full potential. As to our left, not too sure if the camera just pans around that far, there is a whole host of Kettering fans stood on this near touch line, and that's gone out for a corner for Kettering. So another opportunity to get the ball in the box and get a goal from a set piece. So it's going to be Andy Gooden. Let's see if he can deliver another good ball in here. That's looking very good. Henry Eze, oh, it's bounced off the top of his head. Tommy Hull flicks it down towards Brett Solkin of all people, who's won another corner. Oh no, he's not. My apologies. He's just come off him last, and it's gone out for a goal kick. Henry Eze's done very well there, and Sulkin's done even better to manage to keep hold of that one. Andy Gooding, couldn't find Jonathan Thorpe, and now Kettering have got to be wary that North Greenford don't break here, and they haven't, because Dubiog Bonner cuts out the pass, and it's gone out for a throw-in for North Greenford. Managed to find its way through to a North Greenford player, although eventually Kettering Town get the ball and take it out for a throw-in for North Greenford. So, what have we got on the clock in the second half? 7.5 minutes. It is 1-1 now, and that's a bit of miscommunication from North Greenford United. Their half attack, if you like, has broken down and resulted in a Kettering throw-in. Of course, the attendance 563, as I've already mentioned. Healthy turnout for Kettering Town at Latimer Park here, and a few scrappy bumps and knocks going on in the box, as no team is really getting their foot on the ball. It's going to be a Kettering throw-in, not a free kick, but a throw-in, which is bemused many a Kettering player and fan. And Henry Eze stepped over the ball here, and he's let the North Greenford player in, but he's recovered expertly. Henry Eze there, he gifted North Greenford a chance and then took it straight away again. Josh Moorman now in the middle towards Andy Gooding, out wide towards Jonathan Thorpe. Jonathan Thorpe is using his pace on the far side. Good tackle by the number 3. It's another corner for Kettering Town, and now this is where Kettering Town are just looking dominant now. They're getting forward quick, and they're making the most of their attacks, something we didn't see on Tuesday night. So, Andy Gooding with the corner. It's a low and quick one towards Jonathan Thorpe, who strikes it. It's a goal! And it's another mistake. No, it's not. It's taken a deflection, and it's a Kettering Town legend, Brett Sulkin, I believe, who got the final touch on that one. It looked like it was going straight into the hands of the goalkeeper, and I believe Brett Sulkin it was who got the final touch on it. So there we go. Brett Sulkin scores his first competitive goal for the club since his return. Brett Sulkin gets a loud cheer there as Brett Sulkin's name goes up over the tannoy from Mr. Gary Graham. Now Brett's back in the action with a deflection out for a throw-in for North Greenford. And North Greenford can take all the time they want in Kettering's eyes, because they've turned a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 lead. Good tackle for the number 7 though, and number 2 for North Greenford could try and attack again. That is, Brett Sulkin thought about contesting that one and then realised that he was possibly in the wrong, and it's going to be a free kick for North Greenford, which number 6 will take. So we must have about 10 minutes on the clock, I'd say. Yep, so coming up to 11 minutes in the second half. Still 2-1, opportunity for it to be 2-2, but Clifton calmly chests it back to McAlinden, who said a fantastic distribution, and then Moorman are judged to have pushed the North Greenford United player and getting quite a bit of abuse from the fans in the stand over there. Kinneborough steps up, and Henry Eze just gets enough onto it, but no one there to clean up, so it's going to be North Greenford to come again. Headed by Sulkin, and then Gooding collects. Moorman needs to come towards the ball there, as Kinneborough demonstrates. Yeah, that's... substitution for North Greenford. Number 8 is coming off, and number 15 is coming on. Number 8 had a good game for North Greenford, and his game, unfortunately for him, is over, but number 15 is coming on. Carl Brown coming on, as I don't actually have a team sheet, so I've just relied on the tannoy there. Didn't quite hear who number 8 was coming off. Henry's a great header. And Ize's clearance is a no-nonsense one, and that's been headed straight down into the path of Jonathan Thorpe, whose touch was a little too heavy, but now it's come back to James Clifton. Out towards Jonathan Thorpe, using the simpler pass there. Thorpe in towards Dubiog-Bonner, good tackle, and now North Greenford. Oh, and that's hit the referee, I think. As Hull, oh, fantastic little clipped ball in towards Dubiog-Bonner. It's a corner. So now Kettering are showing how they can play, and it's yet another corner. See what can come of this one. Second goal, of course, coming from a corner, a short corner towards Jonathan Thorpe, who drilled it low into the box, and it deflected in off Brett Solkin to claim his first competitive goal since coming back. So crossed in, that's looking good. Henry Ize's header, goal, no! And it's headed by, oh, headed, wow, that's one for goal line technology, surely. That was in from where I was standing. But it's gone out for a North Greenford throw-in after all that. Henry Ize hitting the bar, so this second half is definitely coming alive. And that throw-in is headed easily by Andy Hull. Oh, Henry Ize can't quite get there, but he's done enough to put the number 9 off, and now Kettering can come forward. Jonathan Thorpe looking for some kind of option. Kinnerborough screaming for it, but instead he's trying to clip it through to Dubiog-Bonner. Couldn't control it. Oh, and Josh Mormon nearly got on the end of that one there. As Kettering come away with the ball again. Nice little move from Kinnerborough out towards Gooding. Gooding in towards Doobie. Will Hall get onto this one? He has done, and his touch is actually quite good, and he's won himself a throw-in. Andy Hull doing very well there, actually, and he's certainly kept the ball in an advanced position for Kettering. Kinnerborough going to look for an option. Chooses Doobie, bounces, beating him though, and that's gone out for another Kettering throw-in. Kinnerborough in towards Mormon. His control was a little heavy there, but now it's come out to Brett Solkin. Oh, he tried a long shot, Brett, and that would have been a tidier goal than his first one. As Jonathan Thorpe's lost out there, and now North Greenford can break on the far side. And it's still going, and Tommy Hull's blocked the player off, allegedly, and the referee's going to have a word with him here, and I believe there's a card out as well. And there is. So a chance here really for North Greenford possibly to swing the ball in. It is quite far out, so they may want to have a build up to it, but it does look like they're going to try and pump the ball into the box. A few tall figures inside the Kettering area now. Swung in. Henry Ize's underneath that one, and if Henry Ize's underneath it, he's always going to win it. And Hall is going to leave it for Kinnerborough, is he? Yeah, he is. He's going to leave it after a bit of deliberation. Good header from Mormon, although no one's in that area where he's headed it to. This is very back and forth. Yeah, unfortunately, nothing the number 15 could do there, but it is a foul for Kettering, taken quickly, of course. And a little bit of miscommunication, and Gooding unlucky there to have the ball bounce off him and go out for a throw-in. So, there's a lot of communication here on the pitch from both teams, which is good to see. Well cut out by Brett, and he's kept it in very well, actually. And Brett's going to turn left midfielder here. Now he's passed it back to Andy Hall. Not the best, and cut out by Gooding. Looking for someone in a decent area. He's picked out Doobie. Doobie's laid it off to Clifton. Headed away nicely and easily by the number 2 though. And Clifton wins the ball back. And a fantastic ball out wide towards Andy Hall. Can Steve Kenneborough keep it in? He can. And uses Henry Eze to his advantage. Oh, this is very good play from Kettering. They're really not allowing North Greenford to have any time on the ball. And even when North Greenford do get on the ball, they try and take it back off them as quickly as possible. Although that won't happen here, because they're going to attack very quickly. Oh dear, Josh Moorman. That was really not a very good tackle at all. And I would expect him to go in the book here. That was... I think it's fair to say that Josh Moorman missed times that one. And he will go in the book, so he's got to be careful for the remainder of this game. Have a look how long is left on the clock. We are 19 minutes in, so about 26 minutes to go. Yep. So this is a dangerous area for North Greenford now. An opportunity to swing this one in, put the keeper Jamie McAlinden under some pressure, and get some bodies rushing in to attack it. Lofted in towards the far post, headed back across goal. Kenneborough does well, and it's a corner though. It's a corner, and well, Kettering still have some defending to do. With the right foot of the number 6 for North Greenford. Oh, it's a good header, but it lands neatly into the hands of Jamie McAlinden, who bowls it out towards Andy Hall. It could be a very quick break here. Oh, he's tried to use the outside of his foot there, and it just hasn't come off for him. It's really one of the first mistakes that Andy Hall's made today. Not gone, says the linesman, and Kettering win the ball back and have the ball again. Not going to reach Dubiog Bonner. And North Greenford themselves enjoying a little bit of pressure, as Clifton does very well to head it back to McAlinden, who wastes all of 6 seconds, but either way, every little helps. As the sun is out, but the wind is still fairly blustery, as that kick is found its way all the way in, deep inside to the North Greenford half. Good header from Henry Eze. Oh, that touch from Kenneborough there, and Hall unfortunately couldn't turn it around towards Moorman, who puts his foot in the way. And it's going to be a throw-in. Oh, well done Henry Eze there to head the ball up. And Moorman flicks it through to Dubiog Bonner. Oh, that was so very nearly through to Jonathan Thorpe, but Dubiog Bonner still going. Doobie's run into a little bit of trouble, can use Gooding here, who does back to Dubiog Bonner. Oh, that touch really wasn't the best. And North Greenford can try and bring the ball away. They don't have the chance to. Hall closes them down, and then Kenneborough puts it straight back into the danger area. And that touch from Thorpe just a little too heavy. Solkin brings the ball down. Andy Hall back to Brett Solkin. Dubiog Bonner. Solkin continuing his run and ran into about 3 North Greenford players there. Oh, Clifton. Well, that is coming out of your wages, my son, because you're not fetching that one back. And has gone miles over the clubhouse. It's found its way back to Kettering, I think. As the new ball is kicked onto the field and over for the throw-in. A few substitutes maybe getting ready for Kettering Town. Alfie Taylor's been told to go and warm up, joining Ross Alton, Lewis. In fact, all of the Kettering substitutes are warming up, bar one of them. Now North Greenford look up and try and get forward. Good ball in. Henry Eze is always going to get there, and he's been unfairly tackled there, judged by according to the referee. "23 minutes in the second half. 2-1 Kettering Town, turning over a 1-0 deficit so far. It's fair to say that this second half performance from Kettering Town has been a lot better than the first half, and well, really the full game so far has been better than Tuesday's performance. So let's just hope that was a blip on the successful Poppy's radar. North Greenford hit the ball long, and McAlinden saying leave it, and that is a real up and under. Oh, and that touch from Josh Moorman is absolutely expert. Thorpe back to Solkin, to Gooding. Gooding into Thorpe, into Solkin. Oh, he wanted to shoot, but a good sliding tackle, and now North Greenford can break forward. They're not the best of touches from the player over there, but he's managed to keep it in his stride. Oh, and that's well done from Clifton, just to get in the way of the running player and force the foul and allow Kettering to get the ball back in their possession. So only the one substitute made by both teams so far, well, by either team, sorry, so far, and that's North Greenford early on in the second half. Kettering Town yet to make a change. Oh, Solkin's not got enough on that one, and that's gone out for. Oh, it hasn't gone out. It's been kept in, but Kettering Town have the ball, and Jonathan Thorpe's just slowing the play down by passing it backwards. Now it's gone back to Henry Eze, and this is very good football from Kettering Town. No need to. I was about to say no need to put it in the air, but he has done. But a good ball through. Clifton to Doobie, in towards Brett. Solkin. Oh, Doobie doesn't quite get there ahead of the player, and it's gone out for a Kettering throw-in again. Now it seems like 75% of the game is being played inside the North Greenford half, with Kettering Town with the ball at their feet. So that's better. Doobie, good ball out towards Andy Hull, cuts in, looks towards the top corner, just too high and wide though. Good idea. Execution was a little off from Andy. He's had a good game so far, and he won't let that faze him in the slightest. So Kettering Town management staff just bellowing out some instructions towards their players, in particular Andy Gooding, headed by Tommy Hull, and another throw-in. Kettering Town fans alerting the referee to the fact that he's moved. The player has moved quite considerably far forward. Referee having none of it though, and saying that that's a fair distance to take it from. Oh, that's a great ball from Ogbonna towards Jonathan Thorpe. Oh, that cross wasn't the greatest, and it's been headed away calmly, but now it's with Gooding. Good slide tackle, and that ball was lumped hopelessly forward for North Greenford, and Tommy Hell's pass it back to Jamie McAlinden, who needs to get rid of this, and does well. And that's a little bit of showboating from Steve Kinneborough with the back heel. And then Andy Hall, fantastic to take all the pressure off the defence, and a great touch from Doobie. Sends Jonathan Thorpe sprinting down the line, cuts back to Doobie Ogbonna, takes a touch, and another, shoots! Oh dear! Well, a good effort to get into that position, but the final shot was poor. So, substitution for Kettering Town. Number 16, Alfie Taylor, to come on, and we've seen the last action for Josh Moorman in this game, as he's being replaced. He is, of course, on a yellow card. He has been booked. So Moorman receives a round of applause from the majority of the fans inside the ground. And Alfie Taylor is the man to come on. So a few structural adjustments for Kettering Town's team from set pieces. Now there's a substitution for North Greenford as their number 16 comes on, and their number 11 leaves the field. So two substitutions made by North Greenford United, just the one for Kettering Town. Good header from Brett, and Hull couldn't quite control that one. Of course, it's easy to forget that it is only 2-1, as dominant as Kettering Town are being. It is only a 1-goal lead that they have. Another one would be absolutely fantastic and would help out massively, but it leaves the door open for North Greenford to get themselves an equaliser. Oh, that's a great ball from James Clifton. That was lucky from the number 3 over there. Oh, and Alfie Taylor, can he get on the end of this one? He can. Ball in. Oh, well, collected fairly cleanly by the goalkeeper eventually. Oh, Andy Hall. Andy Hall just does not give up, does he? As Kettering Town are on the attack again. Oh, what a ball that is towards Alfie Taylor. A couple of step overs. Kinneborough screaming for the ball. Cuts in. Kinneborough's going to shoot right-footed. Oh, that's a fantastic save. And the handball in the box, not given. Well, my word. The goalkeeper's had a few nervy moments, but that was fantastic. Kinneborough, of all who cuts onto his right foot, bends, is going into the top corner, and the goalkeeper gets the edge of a glove to it. Unbelievable. Imagine if Steve Kinneborough had scored that one. Certainly leading by example is the captain, and now here come North Greenford though, and again Kinneborough, excellent defending, as Lewis Hamilton will is going to make an appearance soon, but here comes Alfie Taylor first. Cuts in, oh, and it's not quite bounced for him, and North Greenford will try and break, and they will do, and it's a good opportunity here out wide. It's been kept in, and Clifton has to go and close him down. A few players in the box, and Clifton, oh, that's fantastic from James Clifton, and that clearance from Tommy Hull wasn't bad either, as it found Jonathan Thorpe. Now Andy Hall, he can carry on running. Andy Hall still going, cuts in, oh, not in the corner. That time, the power, the height, and everything was right. It wasn't in the corner though from Andy Hall. So his earlier shot, it almost looks as though Andy Hall is just aiming these. He's setting his sights, and you know, I would bet on him maybe planting one into that top corner sooner or later. Oh, there's Steve's clearance there, slices off his boots, and goes out for a North Greenford throw-in. Henry Eze, of all people, barking out some instructions from the back line. Looks like those 4 leaders that I mentioned a couple of games ago has turned into 5 as Henry Eze's come back into the squad. And Dubiog has won the ball and needs to play it out towards Alfie Taylor. He has, and Alfie Taylor's in the box here. Oh, good goalkeeping, and it's a goal kick. Yeah, it is. Right, Mount, no need to shout for the line on there. He's right next to your substitution. That'll be Andy Hall coming off. No, it isn't. Sorry, that's my mistake. It's Jonathan Thorpe who's going to be making his way off the field. He's had a good game, Jonathan Thorpe, and he's played well for his first start this season. And he's going to be replaced by Lewis Hamilton, who of course is also playing football elsewhere. I believe he's either loaned or dual registered. I'm not too sure which one of the two it is, but he comes on for Kettering Town. Jonathan Thorpe has had a good game, and let's hope Lewis Hamilton can continue where Thorpe's left off. Kinniver at the moment is on the ground just receiving a little bit of treatment. Not sure what's happened there, but he's up. It seems to be his knee, or it could be the back of his hamstring. Not sure, but he looks to be up and fine. Little grimace on the face of the Scots captain. Just trying to find out where it's a goal kick. Lost complete track of the ball there. So, goal kick for North Greenford. Henry Eze is always going to win that one, and Kinniver was allowed back onto the field. Doesn't have to run too far. Scott Lakin having a few digs at the opposition bench. Kinniver are unhappy that a free kick has been given for that. See what North Greenford can do from this. Clip it forward. Looks like it may be Steve Kinniver. It is. Ooh. Nothing given. And Henry Eze. Well, that is defending 101. If you have any doubt at all, put your boot through it. And Henry Eze, I think, was caught as well in the aftermath of that clearance. So it's been given as a free kick for Kettering. The number 9 for North Greenford trying to G up his players and get them raring and get them attacking. It almost looks, no, it's just the way the left back was standing. It looks for a moment there like North Greenford had gone for a 3-4-3 formation, but not the case, as Andy Hall is being manhandled there. Although Andy Hall reluctant to take the free kick, he wanted to get up and carry on with the game, so fair play to him for that one. So it'll either be Andy Hall or Andy Gooding, one of the two Andys in the squad, to swing this one. It's going to be Hall. Look, oh my word, that's yeah. Safe to say that wasn't great.
563. It's 563. Thank you for support.
563. The attendance just being read out by Gary Graham on the mic. And it's another goal kick. There is a large gathering of black cloud in the sky at the moment. Not too sure which way it is moving. Hopefully it'll stay away before the end of this game. Great. There's a good ball forward from Kettering. Now Dubiog-Bonner's right in the corner. He hasn't got many options, but he's doing well actually against the player there. Has played it in towards Andy Hall, and it's come through, and Alfie Taylor can't quite get on the end of that one. Oh, well, Henry Eze does well there, and thinks against going for a run and passes it back to his centre-back partner of Tommy Hull. Andy Hall now we have got just under 10 minutes of this game left. Still 2-1, so there's a chance for North Greenford to get back into this, but now Dubiog is in the box. Turns back, plays it towards Kinnerbrook, clips it in towards the far post, headed away, and Clifton pricks it up, volleys! Oh my word. Well, it was all so good up until the shot where didn't sit for him and he got underneath it. That'd be possibly polite to say that he got underneath that one a little bit. He's absolutely hoofed that one over the goal. So Kettering Town still have a substitution to be made should they use it. Alfie Taylor and Lewis Hamilton are already on. It's going to be a goal kick. Scott Macon is asking where the runner was for Steve Kinnerbrough's ball. Salkin does well to head the ball. Doobie in towards Andy Gooding, puts the ball, tries to find Lewis Hamilton, who I don't think actually has had a touch on the ball since coming on this game. Kinnerbrough, Alfie Taylor, Andy Hall. That's going to be a catch and throw in. As Steve Kinnerbrough meanders over to the ball, taking his time, and looks to find a man in red and black. Incidentally, and actually as Andy Hall is just twisting and turning, back out to Alfie Taylor. Taylor shoots, deflected, cleared. Clifton heads it down towards Gooding, although that's not the greatest, and Gooding has missed the ball there, and North Greenford United have an advantage. And Clifton, very good tackle from Tommy Hull, excellent tackle, and now Lewis Hamilton has his first touches of the ball forward, and that's going straight through. Incidentally, the new shirts are available for purchase. I have got myself one just for the fantastic price of 30 of your great British pounds. So I think possibly there may be a large amount have gone. I think we are expecting another delivery of shirts. Andy Hall gets the man of the match for Kettering Town, and I think that's deserved from him. He's had a fantastic game. But yeah, I think the club are expecting another delivery of shirts. They'll be available in the clubhouse for just £30. The new home shirts, the new away shirts, the black polos that you see myself and Paul Cook wearing in the studio before match, they're available. And I believe there's some more. I think there may be one of the training shirts available as well. I'm not too sure. Best way to find out is come down to Latimer Park and walk into the clubhouse and find the guys there with the shirts. Of course, that next game, Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, against Daventry. It's a massive game, that, a derby, and we'll see what Daventry can do. I'm not too sure of the latest score there, but they haven't had the greatest of starts to the season. Oh my word. Well, that was right, late. That tackle was halfway into next year, I think. Really was a poor challenge, and Henry Eze has been is calling the physio on. That was an extremely late challenge, and he's going to go in the book for that, and rightly slow, the number 7. A few of the Kettering players just taking this opportunity to get some water on board. Poppy's man of the match is number 11, Andy Hall, and I don't think I can have any complaints with that, so I'm going to award him the Poppy's TV man of the match as well. Usually we have a little deliberation of as who we think has done best, and it is Andy Hall. He's done very well. So Henry's just getting a little bit of treatment for a knock on his left leg. I'm not too sure whether that's a hamstring that he pulled or not, but he's up and walking. The number 7, who has actually just been booked for North Greenford, is coming off, and the number 12 is coming on. Henry is just feeling out that leg of his, making sure that he's fully fit to come back on, and the ref says you can, and so he comes back into his centre back position. Well, that again looked like a handball. Could have been more shoulder. And the number 9 there has put his foot in front of it and pushed Clifton over. Now Dubiog Bonner is down to the left of where the camera's pointing at the moment, just inside the North Greenford half.
Reminder, next home game is this coming Monday. It's Bank Holiday Monday. We're at home against Daventry Town. It's a 3 o'clock kick-off.
Just confirmation there from Gary Graham that it is a 3 o'clock kick-off Bank Holiday Monday, not a 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And that will be here, Latimer Park against Daventry Town, the Northamptonshire derby, the El Clasico of the Southern Premier League. Two of the biggest teams in the league will battle it out to see who comes out on top. So I'm getting strange looks from all around me calling it the El Clasico. So not my phrase, that's Paul Cook's. So Dubiog Bonner is now to come off and get a bit of treatment. Favouring that left leg of his. Limping off. Of course, Kettering have got one more substitution to make should they want to use it. Not long left. It's just over 1 minute I make it until full time. So if Kettering Town can just hold on to their 1-goal lead. So Dubiog Bonner's allowed to come back on, and he looks like he's still favouring it. He's just going to try and run it off. Andy Hall. Now Gooding, oh, that really, he didn't catch that one right, did he? Did Andy Gooding, and it's gone out for a North Greenford throw, and have got a little bit of urgency about them. As Andy Hall was clattered there by the North Greenford player. Nice turn from the number 12, and it's left Andy Gooding chasing him. North Greenford really are looking to play the ball around very quickly. They realise that there isn't much time left of this game, and they need to find a goal, and they need to find it quickly if they want to get anything from this game, and it might come here. The number 9 for North Greenford United is on the attack now, and well, that is fantastic from Steve Kinneborough. Three added minutes we're hearing. So there we go. The tannoy Gary Graham has announced that, and so Kettering Town just have to hold on for 3 more minutes to complete what has been a rather dominant second half, and I think, judging on the overall play of the game, Kettering probably deserved 3 points from this one. North Greenford, to be fair to them, did start well, and their first half was certainly better than the second half, although Kettering Town really have upped their game, and now it's fallen to Lewis Hamilton. Brought down, it's a penalty! It is a penalty! Hamilton through on goal, and well, it was always going to happen. Penalty for Kettering Town. North Greenford player nowhere near the ball there, and Hamilton hits the deck. 46 minutes, so the 91st minute of this game. And it's a goal kick. Dubiog Bonner and Andy Gooding are just having a discussion as to who should take this one. Andy Gooding being told that he can take it. It's going to be Gooding. He is the normal Kettering Town penalty taker. Dubiog Bonner takes them whenever he wants to get a hat-trick, but it is a goal! And that's, well, that completes a dominant display. Dubiog Bonner really, really unhappy. Very unhappy with not being allowed that penalty. But cheers for the goal. Dubiog Bonner really, really unhappy. And there's going to be a substitution just to waste a little bit of time now, and it's going to be Ross Alton to come on to play out the last minute and a half of this game. And it's going to be Duby Ogbonna who comes off as well. It's going to be Duby Ogbonna to go off as well. He's making his way straight over towards the dugout. Greeted by boos from the Kettering Town team. Well, the North Greenford United bench certainly have something to say about this. But fact of the matter is, their team are now 3-1 down and leaving Latimer Park with no points at all. So maybe 30 seconds added on for the penalty and the goal, but not really that long left. We have just ticked over to 3 minutes. So whether the referee will add on an extra minute for the penalty inside stoppage time, or whether he will just leave it at that. So Hall has it in the corner, and he's not going to come out of there in a hurry because he's won himself a corner. So Hamilton to take this, well no sorry, Hall had already taken it, and Hamilton just kept it in the corner as Hall does now. Oh, few strong challenges going in, then an apologetic hug from the player there, and it's a throw in for Kettering Town. And this, well, surely the referee can't add on much more. Must have had an extra minute of added on time. In fact, we're coming up to 15 seconds left, so about 10 seconds I make it before the referee blows the whistle. In fact, no, he's going to blow it now. And Kettering Town have come out 3-1 winners here eventually against North Greenford United. So that's all from me up here. I'm going to hand you back down to Paul Cook in the studio. But from me, it's been a very good afternoon. Kettering Town 3, North Greenford United 1. Back to you, Paul.
So a great second half performance there by Kettering Town, winning the game 3-1, 2 goals in 4 minutes. A 50th minute goal by Andy Hall through the goalkeeper's hands, and then 4 minutes later Brett Solkin getting a touch on Jonathan Thorpe's wonderful pass there to go 2-1 ahead. And as you saw there towards the end of the game, the penalty there by Andy Gooding to wrap the game up 3-1. Certainly whatever was said at half-time by managers Scott and Tom did a remarkable job there. Not the most fluid of games, but 3 points in the bag, and certainly we couldn't have asked for much more after that first half performance. Man of the match, Andy Hall, hopefully will be joining us a little later, as will one of the managers to get their thoughts on the game. So yes, it was a great performance in the second half there, and Kettering possibly could have had a few more goals. Henry Eze hit the underside of the bar, as you saw, and Steve Kinnenborough hit the bar after a great save from the opposition goalkeeper there. So 3-1 to Kettering Town. I think didn't I forecast a 3-1 at half-time? I think I did there, so a pat on the back maybe, but my other forecast of the day, Leicester against Chelsea, of course, hasn't gone to plan. So, but there we have it. So, great performance there. We'll get some reaction as soon as we can. And we go on now to Daventry on Bank Holiday Monday. Of course, that the El Clasico, as I keep calling it, Daventry Town against Kettering Town. Coming on from last season where we won all 4 games, and hopefully we can continue that. Daventry, I think we're drawing 1-1 earlier in the day, so hopefully try and bring you that result later. But yes, it was an impressive performance. I think that it needed to happen after the disappointment of Tuesday, where we lost 3-1 at Leighton. We talked about it earlier on that we needed to get 3 points in the bag, especially with that performance coming on against Daventry, and we've just done that. So a great afternoon there. Hope you enjoyed the viewing, and hopefully you could hear Ed okay upstairs there on the gantry. Rather windy, rather rainy, and away we go. So I think I can see someone coming in here now. It's Andy Hall will be joining us in a few moments, just composing himself there. So yes, Andy's popping in. Okay, Andy Hall will be joining us as we speak, fresh from the match, dripping with sweat. So in comes Andy, who returned in pre-season, and he is with us now. Good afternoon, Andy. A belated welcome back to the club, and it's great to have you with us again after the 2008 where we won the championship. Let's hope we can do that again this season with your help. A great performance today, man of the match, another goal, 2 in 2 games. Must be pleased.
Yeah, I mean, I've started fairly well. I'm pleased with the way I'm playing. Obviously had a blip on Tuesday, but the main thing today was just to get 3 points. Obviously, first half created chances, but we just didn't really have that end product. Obviously they had one chance and scored. Obviously came in at half time, and things were said.
Was it a cup of tea smashing, or a throwing of articles, or was it just a general hiccup the proverbial derriere?
He just basically said what he had to say. Obviously we as players know what we have to do, so we obviously said our bits as well, and came out second half, and obviously got the early goal, which always helps, and then kicked on from there, so it's good.
You certainly put some impressive performances in so far. I mean, almost man of the match last time. Some people thought you were and should have been. It must be great to come back. I know you've come down a level or two, but what actually brought you back to Kettering? Why did you want to come back? What was the desire, let's say, to come back to Kettering from Stamford?
Well, obviously I had a good season at Kings Lynn. Obviously, for whatever reasons, didn't stay. Obviously, got in contact with Tom and Scott over the summer. Told me what their plans were this year, and obviously the run Kettering put together last year. Unfortunately, obviously not to go up.
Did you watch that from afar, obviously, with interest, or?
Yeah, I mean, I've got friends here from last season, like Andy Good, and I've played with him. I know Cliffy from Northampton, Brett, obviously back as well. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I kept in touch with them, see how they were getting on, and obviously Dean Thomas was my old manager.
Of course, Hinkley, weren't you?
Yeah, so yeah, no, it's just keeping an eye out now and again for clubs that I've sort of been amongst, and like I say, they were unfortunate last year to not go up. So
it's a much different Kettering side to when you played in the conference, although you got Brett with you, of course, who played with you in that Mark Cooper side. But it's a good squad of players, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can see from the bench. Obviously, unfortunately, you can't have 16 players to play, but obviously, it's the players who get the first 11 to obviously show that they want to play and continue to play well, and obviously that's down to the manager to pick the team. And I mean, we've got players that can come in and do just as well as any player, so the squad's looking very strong, and we'll need that for the rest of the season.
Of course, a big game on Monday, so I keep mentioning on here, but against Daventry. Your first action will be against Daventry, so as I speak though, prior to that, there's a bottle of champagne being handed to me. Oh, marvellous. I've not had one of these for ages. Chairman Richie June has just walked in and given me a bottle of champagne. Man of the match, Andy, it's yours. Drink that with pleasure. I'm sure you will. Not ice cold as well. You could open it in here if you wish. I don't think there's much chance of that, but I did try. But no, it must be great to really the team that you've got around you.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a great bunch of players. Obviously, all want to do well, continue on from last year. And like I say, apart from Tuesday, which was I'd call a blip.
Yeah, that was a blip, wasn't it? I mean, from a player's perspective, what was the difference in that game where up to that point you've been playing exceptionally well, all of you, and then suddenly that one blip seemed to cause chaos? Is it you could put your finger on it? Was it change your goalkeeper perhaps? I mean, Jamie wasn't there. He came back today and played really quite well what he had to do. I know Nick came in for his debut and didn't go to plan as such, but was that the difference? You weren't quite sure at the back, or was it anything you could put your finger on while we had that display?
I mean,
no.
in football, every player has bad games, and you know you're not going to win every game. But it's how you react when you're not playing well. And unfortunately, we didn't play well, and you know, not many players can say that they sort of played well individually. But like I say, it's a blip, and today was just about getting 3 points. Obviously, it's nice to play well as well. Apart from the first half, final third, I think we played really well today and showed what we can do for the season.
As I said briefly before the champagne came in there, we got that game against Daventry Town on Monday, which is return to the El Clasico, as I keep saying here. It'd be your first action against Daventry, one of those games. We played them 4 times last season, beat them 4 times. The last attendance was very, very high, 1,400 here. Not quite sure there'll be that many for this game, but a good attendance today again, Andy. 563 souls out there. At this level, that's an exceptional gate, really.
Yeah, I mean, all we can do is keep performing well, keep winning, and hopefully the crowds will keep rising. And it's always nice to play in front of 500-600 people. Like I say, if we keep performing well, hopefully more fans will turn up and watch us play.
Well, thanks, Andy. I'll let you go and have a shower. I'm sure you deserve that shower.
Cheers.
And you deserve that bottle of champagne. I can't get one. I'm trying to get a glass here, but I don't think I will. But you drink that with pleasure.
Cheers.
I'm sure you will, and we'll see you again on Monday. So, are we getting anybody else in? We have somebody here. We've got we've got the manager coming in. One of the managers stumbling through the empty beer crates as we speak, and it's Tom Bailey will be joining us to give his thoughts on the game. So, just bear with me while Tom adjusts himself and sits down in front of us. Good afternoon, Tom. Welcome to the TV. Your first appearance on the box, so to speak.
Yep.
What did you say at half time then after that first half, which didn't go to plan after Tuesday night's hammering, let's say?
Probably a lot of things that needs to stay in there, to be perfectly honest with you. We obviously told them where it was going wrong, where we felt it was going wrong, and what we needed to do to alter it. And to be fair to them, I think they did in the second half.
It was a much better display in the second half, wasn't it? Getting that early equaliser must have adjusted the nerves quite a bit. We could have had some more. I mean, 2 hit the bar, didn't they? We had one from Kinney in the first half, and again in the second half where their goalkeeper actually got something on it and tipped it onto the bar. It must have been pleasing the way that they responded to you.
Yeah, I think we were unlucky only to score 3. In the second half, I think we could have scored a few more. We did have a chat with them at half time. And simply the first half wasn't good enough, and so we changed. We altered a few little bits of what they were doing, and it worked in the second half.
If you could say that Andy Hall got player of the match, of course, but they all played their part, didn't they?
Yeah.
If you could say who else actually made that performance in that second half what it was, I mean, it was a vast improvement, wasn't it?
I think it was collectively. I mean, we just. In the first half, a lot of the balls that were dropping, they just weren't dropping to us. We weren't on them fast enough, and we weren't winning. Sometimes the first ball and the second balls were dropping, and they were coming away with the ball. In the second half, we changed that, and when the ball was dropping, we were coming away with it, and we also kept the ball a lot better and passed it around a lot more. So it's collectively. It's very difficult to single out one person. Andy's got his another man of the match.
Wouldn't open that bottle,
No, he wouldn't. No, but Andy's got another man of the match, which is fine. But I think there's numerous candidates. But overall, the second half display was better as a unit rather than sometimes in the first half I think we played as individuals.
Yeah, so we come to Bank Holiday Monday against Daventry Town. We've mentioned this a couple of times already. I've mentioned it a few times. Sorry about this, folks, but it's a big game, and we've got to really. They won 2-1. I understand they beat Marlow 2-1, so they're up for it as well. We'll be up for it. Do you see many changes in the side? We've got any injuries that you can talk about? Is anybody going to come back in the side, or are you pleased with what you saw out there today?
Jonathan Thorpe's first time he's been able to play, to be fair, because obviously he had his accident in the summer, and we've taken it very carefully with him coming back. He's played today for the first time and was feeling very tight and very tired, to be fair, so we brought him off. We'll have to check how he is tomorrow and see how he's feeling, but I wouldn't predict that Monday's squad will be too different to today's.
Yeah. Jamie played well again in goal, didn't he, with what he had to do? Can't blame him for the goal too much, the scramble, can we?
No, that's exactly what it was. They put the ball in. Jamie's done very well. He's a young lad that's done very well at the club, and but the cross that come in, we just haven't dealt with it, and it's got into a bit of a.
Was that disappointing for you, the way that wasn't dealt with?
It was too soft. Yeah. If you look at some of the players that we have in there, certainly the physical strength of players that we have in this team and the height, it was too soft.
Henry comes back in and makes a bit of difference. There were some explosive bits from Henry there, and there were some out of position pieces as well. You either get one or the other with Henry, don't you? He's a cult player. The fans love him, don't they? And,
Henry's a character, both on and off the pitch, and he, sometimes you get what you get with some of them, and he's big, he's strong. Certainly he'll put people off purely by his physical presence. You could see probably he won quite a few headers today, Henry, where to be honest,
a lot of pressure, wasn't he, from that number 9?
He was, yeah, he didn't want to leave him alone.
I thought they were mates.
Yeah, he didn't want to leave him alone.
He got a bit worrying at one point.
He had Henry won a lot of headers today, where to be fair we didn't win enough on Tuesday night at Leighton.
Was that the difference, you think?
I think it is part of it. Sometimes you've got to win the battles before you win everything else. And Henry, there's not many people that are going to push Henry around, to be fair. And he's a big presence. He can head it nearly as far as some people can kick it. And there's not many people going to beat him in the air when it comes to things. And which was paramount why he was back in the squad today. But we've taken it easy on Henry because he has been injured. So we've taken it a bit easy on him.
Let's not forget Louis Hamilton, who came on towards the end there. He came back from Oadby after a secondment out there for a few weeks, and came back and got the penalty that wrapped the game up, really, as I forecast.
Louis, his pace, he's, when the game is tiring, players are tiring, you wouldn't really want to see Lewis Hamilton come off the bench and start running at you. And that's really what happened, Louis, sometimes his best games come in the first 20 or the final 20 of the match.
More of an impact player than you say.
Yeah, the first 20 they're not really ready for him, and then they work out how to defend. But the final 20, players are tired. They've just played 70 minutes. They've been in a battle, and somebody of his pace comes on. It's the last thing you want to see, really. So Louis Hamilton's done today exactly what we expected him to do. To be fair to him, he went and got a couple of games at Oadby, played very well. They were very praising him for what he's done out there, and he's come in today and been part of the squad. So and done a good part when he's come back on. So when he's come on, so we can't ask any more of Louis at the moment, to be fair.
We've got quite a few players out on loan at the moment at various clubs. If they all make the impact that Louis made, then obviously they're going to be more candidates for your selection problems. Yeah,
I mean, it's a long season. You're looking at sort of 55 games or something along those lines, really. And we have got a larger squad, which obviously has settled down. But we spoke to the players and said to them, how about, we want you to get game time, very similar to someone like Nick Bennion today. He's gone out to get some game time.
Where's Nick gone?
Nick's actually played for Burton today over at Buckingham, which is where Nick lives. So it's not, it was an easy sort of decision.
Is that a dual registration like the others, or just?
Yeah. I mean, Burton were desperate for a keeper, and we had a choice of whether to put Nick on the bench or let him go and play 90 minutes, and so he's gone and played 90 minutes at Burton today. And we feel that the people that have gone out on dual registrations, a number of them will play a part in what we want to do this season, because we were quite fortunate last season in the injury front. We didn't really get many injuries for a long period of time.
Just Doobie, really, wasn't it?
There was Doobie for a while, and Crowe, but we had the cover to even when Doobie was out, I don't know how many games he missed, but it wasn't a massive amount of games, even though he was out for a period of time. But it's a long season, and the players.
I think the player that was out the longest last season was Henry on a protracted honeymoon period, wasn't it? Longest honeymoon in history, I think.
He was on he was on his honeymoon for a while. We weren't really sure when he was.
We'll have one of those. We'll be all right, won't we?
But no, the players that are out on loan, they or dual registration, should I say, they have a part to play. They're not in the squad at the moment because obviously they would be here. They want to be at the club. There's no point in them sitting around and not doing anything for the next few weeks while things settle down. So they've gone out to play games, and we will judge that as the weeks go on.
There's one final thing before we let you go and enjoy a glass of shandy at the bar. That's what he drinks, shandy.
Yeah,
Dan Crowe, is he still with us? Is he injured?
No.
He just not in the squad today.
Dan missed most of pre-season.
Yes, he did.
Because of his job, and then he went away on holiday. But he's only 20 years old, I think, Dan, and he's a great player. But because he missed most of pre-season and he's played 3-4 games back to back, and we thought the best thing is probably to leave him out. And it's very difficult. Again, we could have brought him in and he could have been on the bench today. But Henry, we felt after Tuesday night we needed Henry back in the side.
A bit more force, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit more force. But Dan Crowe, to be fair to him, he has played a lot of football in a short space of time, considering he missed most of pre-season. So we took the decision to sort of give Dan Crowe the weekend off. and he's fine. You know,
so we're all fit and raring to go then against the Purple Army on Bank Holiday Monday, and their free supporters will enjoy the.
I mean, at the end of the day, Daventry will be up there at the end of the season. There's no question about that. And but Monday, it's an important game. We want to win the game. There's a lot of topsy-turvy results. I haven't seen today's, to be fair, obviously yet, but there's a lot of strange results going around in the league. After we beat Northwood, they beat Rugby. North Greenford beat Bedworth. It's not ready. It's not settled down yet. It's going to take a few weeks. So it's just important we pick up the points rather than.
Well, this time last year, after 5 games, we've got 3 points. So
yeah, we're doing a little bit better than that. We're doing a little bit better than that, and it is a long season, and we've just got to make sure we're in part of the pack. And you don't win anything in September, October, November. So we've just got to make sure we're there or thereabouts, and around Christmas time, and then we'll push on.
Well, there you are. There's the views from joint manager Tom Bailey. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll let Tom nip off now. And Sam Paul, thank you much. Tom, back in the studio for the final piece of the programme. We've got Ed, who's returned from the gantry. It wasn't probably as bad as he thought it was going to be with the weather. But Ed, just to sum up, what are your sort of views from the different angle than mine up there, being the eye in the sky, as I'm going to call you, I think, from there?
Very much what Tom said. The first half wasn't great, and it was a case of we weren't winning enough balls. You had the second ball, which is the most important one. You can win the first one, but you've got to make sure that the second one, you bring it down and you get it under. It just wasn't happening first half. I don't know what it was. It just, something didn't click. And then they came in at half time, and I thought that was almost sort of they came at the wrong time. Because Kettering were really sort of.
Well, it came at the right time. They got 2 goals in 4 minutes.
Well, yeah, of course. But at the time, I thought Kettering are building up some momentum, and then half time it had stopped them. But fair play to them, they came out second half. Momentum was still there. Whatever Tom said to them, and Scott said to them, worked. And second half, whatever wasn't clicking in the first half did.
Well, we couldn't actually find out what Tom had said and Scott said at half time. I think that might have been bleeped consistently for about 20 minutes, and Andy Hall wasn't giving anything away. But so there you have it. That's the game over today. Kettering winning 3-1. Bounce back ability went to Kettering and not to North Greenford. That's delightful. A marvellous performance there by Kettering in the second half. So that about leaves everything ready now for that classic game on Easter Monday, on Bank Holiday Monday even. So from me, Paul Cook, and from commentator and presenter Ed Palmer, we bid you farewell, and we'll see you again on Monday. So good evening, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Goodbye.